What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing a brand new Pokemon to the world of Pokemon Go, Thievul, which is a pure Dark-type Pokemon, and currently it only has access to Night Slash and Play Rough as its two charge moves, which usually make this Pokemon very predictable. However, it is a new Pokemon, so not many opponents saw the Play Rough coming, and it helped me to flip a ton of matchups that this Pokemon would just simply not win if people were more familiar with it. Another surprising benefit to only having two charge moves is that I was actually able to get the moves that I wanted. I haven't showcased any Scroll Cup content yet on the channel because I just can't seem to get the moves that I need on the Pokemon that I want to showcase, and even for this video I had to build a brand new Zoroark because I couldn't for the life of me get Foul Play on my current Zoroark. I kept on flipping between Nightshade and Flamethrower, and of course neither of those are the move that I want to showcase. Foul Play of course got a rework this season, so I wanted to use it, and yeah, I just couldn't get it despite doing loads of tier 3 raids, getting those guaranteed charge DMs, just to cycle between those two moves over and over and over again. And even on the new one that I built, I didn't want to run Flamethrower, I wanted Sludge Bomb, but I just gave up in the end. Either way, we've got a double Dark Fox backline with Hakamoa in the lead. Yes, of course, incredibly to Fairy. If you see a Charmer, you're probably going to lose, but in the 25 battles that I did with the team, I only saw one Charmer, so it wasn't too bad. And with that being said, let's just get into the question of the day. I'm going to be honest, even though I've only played a couple of days so far, I think the Scroll Cup is one of the worst limited metas we've had. That isn't just a single typing, and yeah, I'm really not too excited to play more battles in this meta, so I want to know, what would you like to see from me during this week's league rotation? Maybe suggest some Pokemon that are quite spicy for the meta, or some theme teams or something like that. I don't know, just let me know in the comment section down below. And with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Let's go into the first battle, leading Hakamoa into Mandibuzz. So not a great matchup for me. I'm going to be safe swapping into my Thievul straight away, and the opponent responds with a Primeape, and if the opponent does not know about the Play Rough coverage, then they're about to find out as it one-shots the Primeape. We flip switch advantage. The opponent comes in with a Gastrodon, which is absolutely fine with me. I'm going to overfarm here, fire off the Night Slash on the CMP tie. Night Slash is going to get the boost, and at this point, I wasn't going to shield, but now I kind of feel like I have to. We're going to shield out the Body Slam here. I'm then going to go and try to throw on CMP once again, able to get the CMP tie there, win CMP, Night Slash doesn't quite get the KO there. Honestly, you could argue that maybe you should have gone for the Play Rough, as I was only going to reach one charge move anyways, but either way, we come in with the Hakamoa, we get the farm down with the Dragon Tail, and the opponent reaches a charge move. Now, Hakamoa is weak to the flying typing, but Zoroark is such a glassy Pokemon that actually I kind of need to save my shield for the Zoroark. So we go for the Brick Break, we grab a shield from the opponent, which is very nice. Now, unfortunately, Flamethrower going to be slightly more energy than a Sludge Bomb for that coverage move, which means I'm not certain if I will reach back-to-back moves, but I'm going to go for the Flamethrower anyways, hoping the opponent calls a bait, but no, they do shield the Flamethrower, but I am just barely able to get there to a second Flamethrower, winning CMP. Flamethrower doesn't quite get the KO there, but it doesn't matter. At this point, Zoroark will be going down to the Aerial Ace, but one more Dragon Tail from the Hakamoa takes out the Mandibuzz, and I'm able to take that game. So, GG top on there. Into next battle, we see more Peko in the lead, so a great lead matchup for me. The opponent's going to safe swap into a Jellicent, and we can hard counter them with our Thievul. Going straight for Night Slash here. Night Slash, not going to be enough damage to get the KO from full health, but that's okay. I'm going to no-shield the first move. The opponent actually goes for an Ice Beam there, so probably not on Surf, maybe on Ice Beam and Shadow Ball, I don't know actually, but either way, we fire off the Night Slash here. Night Slash gets the KO, no boost this time around, but the opponent overfarms. And again, if they don't know about Play Rough, well, Play Rough is going to one-shot the Morpeko, and they actually they concede the match there. They had Azumarill. I had literally zero answer to Azumarill whatsoever, but they just quit there, and I'm able to take the win. So, GG's to that opponent there. If they actually stayed in, I probably would have lost. But either way, into the next battle, we're going to see a Toxapex in the lead. So, I'm going to stay in this matchup here, and they very rarely bait, so I'm just going to shield here, as he does full send the Sludge Wave, which is fine with me. I'm now going to overfarm, fire off the Dragon Claw here. Dragon Claw won't quite be enough damage to get the KO, but the opponent uses their shield anyway, so I can go for one more Dragon Tail, fire off a third Dragon Claw, and still, from this range, it still doesn't quite get the KO there. But at this point, we've already used one shield on our bulkiest Pokemon on the team. If they've got a Fighting type in the back, then hopefully Thievul can do some things here with the Play Rough, and again, they come in with a Pokemon weak to Fairy typing. We go for Play Rough, but Play Rough does not do enough damage in this scenario, and at this point I'm thinking, I kind of need to just let this move go through. Superpower gets the one shot. We can come in with the Zoroark. I can shield once, go for a Shadow Claw farm down, but the opponent's going to have a Morpeko in the back. And of course, Zoroark, incredibly glassy. We actually win CMP in this matchup, and it's not even close, but Flamethrower is of course shielded. And an Aura will very easily one-shot the Zoroark, and unfortunately, we do lose that game. So, GG top end there. Into next battle, going to see a Chestnut in the lead this time around. So, great lead. The opponent's going to say swap into Mantine, and I'm going to respond with my Thievul straight away. Going to no-shield the first move here, as the opponent is going to go and fire off an Aerial Ace. Fine with me. I'm going to go for one Snarl, fire off the Night Sash here. Night Sash is going to be no-shielded by the opponent, and we can go for another Snarl, and we're already at a second Night Sash. So, Night Sash, number 2, no-shielded once again, which is fine with me. At this point, I might shield this up here, and then just farm up to very close to back-to-back charge moves. So we are going to overfarm here, going for another Night Sash just before they reach the next charge move. Night Sash, number 3, gets the KO there. If we come back in with the Chestnut, again, we can reach that Play Rough. We've seen already, though, Play Rough doesn't quite get the KO, so I actually swap into my Hakamoa here. I realize, of course, this is my hard answer, but the opponent forced to throw energy. They go for a Frenzy Plant before coming in with a Lantern, and this game is looking well and truly over now. We can go straight for Brick Break. Of course, first one doesn't do much damage here, but now we're debuffing their defense. These Dragon Tails are going to chunk. This is just a Surf. Surf is resisted damage, and these Sparks, they're also resisted, and whilst we are very low, I don't think they will be able to Spark farm me down, so we go for another Brick Break there, committing to the farm down, and we get the farm down, and at this point, the opponent realizing there's nothing they can do, so they just concede the match. So, GG top end there. Into next battle, we see a Primeape in the lead. So, of course, going to stay in this matchup here. We are going to take super effective damage from the Karate Chops, from the close combats in the back. So, definitely just going to stay in here. We are going to no-shield the first move, as they didn't even farm up to the close combat. We go for the Break there, assuming they're going to shield that up anyway. So, debuffing their defense. I'm now going to shield the next charge move, as they are one stage boosted. They're now double boosted, and they do reach another charge move. But I can swap into my Thievul, catch a resisted Rage Fist there, and it doesn't do too much damage. They then come in with a Quagsire, which is fine with me. I'm going to no-shield the first move here, just going to be an Aqua Tail or a Mud Bomb. It is the Aqua Tail there. I'm now going to go for one Snarl, and once again, I will be able to reach back-to-back Night Sashes before the opponent reaches a second charge move. Now, unfortunately, this is a non-Shadow Quagsire, so these Night Sashes, they really don't do that much damage, but the opponent is not going to be able to overfarm by too much, so the opponent fires off the charge move here. Aqua Tail does get the KO from that range. We can come in with the Hakamoa. I believe I'm one away from the next charge move, so we go straight for the Dragon Claw as soon as we get there, and then I will eventually swap into my Zoroark. Dragon Claw gets the KO, we swap into our Zoroark. The opponent actually comes in with their Primeape, and they've got a Lapras in the back. Now, against most Dark types, you think this is a really good matchup for us, but unfortunately, Zoroark is so glassy that I don't even know if I'm going to live a Sparkling Aria. So I'm going to shield the first charge move here. Unfortunately, they actually no-shielded the Foul Play. Flamethrower going to do a little bit more damage there, but it probably still wouldn't get the KO anyways. We go for Foul Play number 2. The opponent already at another Sparkling Aria, and from this range, it actually does get the KO there, and a few more Psy Waves, take out the Hakamoa, and unfortunately, we do lose that game. But GG top end there. Into next battle, we see a Mantine in the lead. So going to say swap into our Thievul, and the opponent is going to stay in for ages before eventually swapping into a Lapras. Now we're going for the Night Sash. Night Sash is going to do some, well, not that great damage, to be honest, but a second Night Sash coming through already. We are going to spam these Night Sashes incredibly fast. Now they've farmed up a ton of energy. I'm actually going to shield this, and the opponent does full send a Skull Bash there, which is a huge call on my end. We can now go for another Night Sash. Night Sash, of course, not going to get the KO now as they've buffed their defense, but we get a boost to our attack, and now we go for another Night Sash here. Night Sash is going to get the KO. They come back in with the Mantine, and I'm already at another Night Sash here. Night Sash is going to do some respectable damage now that we've boosted our attack, and if the opponent does not get the KO here with the charge move, Water Pulse doesn't take us out, and we can fire off another Night Sash. Insane spam from the Thievul, grabbing a shield there back from the Mantine. We're now going to come in with the Zoroark, and unfortunately, I kind of need to shield this. A Water Pulse would very nearly one-shot us. A shield, it is just an Aerial Ace there, but they come in with a Gastrodon, and this is where Foul Play, costing less energy, is very nice, because first one grabs a shield, but I'm already at Foul Play number 2, and this is going to do some very big damage to the Gastrodon. I can now swap out into my Hakamoa, and of course, they can go for an Earth Power here. Earth Power is going to hit fairly hard, but Hakamoa got some decent bulk to it. We're able to get the Dragon Tail farm down. I'm going to go straight for a Dragon Claw here. I'm hoping this does get the KO. Dragon Claw Claw actually doesn't quite KO, but we're able to live the wing attack damage. Dragon Tail gets the KO there, and I'm able to take that game. So, GG's top on there, into the next battle, we see Drapion in the lead, and if they're not on Sludge Bomb, then it's actually a really dominant matchup for us, as of course, we're going to resist the charge moves. They go for Crunch there, that is definitely the right play, but they swap into Annihilate now. My backline is definitely going to struggle up against Annihilate, so I'm happy to just stay in here, fire off another Dragon Claw immediately, and Dragon Claw probably going to be shielded. I actually missed some bubbles there because I was swiping too close to the edge of the screen, so it actually, like, sort of doesn't allow the sort of taps to register there, just so that I'm not able to accidentally, like, exit the app or something. But either way, we're just about able to reach another Dragon Claw, which is huge for me. Grab the final shield, we get the Shadow Claw farm down, and they come in with a Guzzlord, and this is where, of course, having Sludge Bomb would be a lot better for the Zoroark. Flamethrower and Foul Play both resisted. We're completely walled, but we do have Play Rough on our Thievul. Now, we know Drapion does not have Sludge Bomb. This is just going to be an Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail doesn't do that much damage. We go for the Play Rough. We farmed up to 100 energy. Play Rough does not get the KO there. I'm forced to throw another Night Slash here. Night Slash will be enough damage to get the KO, but can I actually live the Dragon Tail damage here? I'm not certain I would, so I swap out there into my Zoroark, and I think I've just thrown this game here. We go for the Foul Play. Foul Play doesn't do too much damage. Remember, we did actually bank a Night Slash, though, so the opponent fires off the Dragon Claw, and we're actually able to reach a Play Rough there. And Play Rough is, of course, double super effective damage. It does take out the Guzzlord, and I'm able to take that game. So, GG top on there, into the next battle, we see a Shadow for Alligator in the lead. So, of course, just going to stay in this matchup. I have two Pokemon that do resist the Shadow Claw damage, but they don't farm up to an Ice Beam. I'm just going to no-shield. It's just a Hydro Cannon there. That does quite a lot of damage, to be fair. But we can go for a Break, expecting a shield here. But they put actually no shields, which is fine with me. We get the Dragon Tail farm down, but they come in with a Mantine. So, I'm going to bank the energy, swap into my Thievul, and they've got a Poliwrath. So, I mean, at least we got Play Rough here. Play Rough is going to connect once again, dealing huge damage, but again, unfortunately, not quite enough damage to get the one-shot there. So they've got quite a lot of energy. They will be able to go straight for an Icy Wind and debuff my attack. But I kind of need to just shield this up there, get off that Dragon Claw, and I'm hoping I can grab a shield here with a Brick Break. But unfortunately, the opponent does no shield, and that's going to be game over. There's just nothing we can do at this point. We can spam Foul Plays, but just not quite fast enough here. So I think my only win condition is calling that the opponent goes for an Aerial Ace base. So I'm going to no shield the first move. The opponent full sends the Water Pulse, and that easily takes out the Zoroark. They can wing attack, farm down the Hakamoa, and unfortunately, we do lose that game. But GG top in there, into the next battle, we see a Gastrodon in the lead. So this is a fine matchup for me. Gonna stay in here. I'm going to wait for the opponent to swap into Mandibuzz and then actually go for a Brick Break. Brick Break, of course, not gonna do much damage, but it debuffs their defense. And now a Play Rough, whilst it won't quite get the one-shot, is going to do absolutely huge damage in this matchup, and hopefully it puts them into Snarl farm down range. Play Rough does connect, it does big damage, but actually that's going to be a very ambitious Snarl farm down, so let's see what we do here. I'm going to no-shield the next charge move as well, possibly actually just farm up to back-to-back Night Slashes here before throwing, because at this point they're going to be able to farm me down, so we go for the Night Slash gets the KO there, but we've got another Night Slash already loaded to throw into Gastrodon coming back in, and we're able to grab a shield as well, which is very nice. We come in with the Hakamoa. At this point, I realized if they go for back-to-back body slams, I'm actually okay with that. They go for the body slam there, and they do fire off another one straight away. But we can live this from this range, so I force them to throw their energy straight away. And the opponent actually swaps into a wall range. So we go for the break. We are able to grab the final shield, and that is very nice for me. We've dropped their defense now, so Zoroark should be able to come in, throw one charge move. We're going to throw as late as possible, throwing on the CMP tie. We go for Flamethrower, as this will do more damage, and Flamethrower does get the KO there. They come back in with the Gastrodon. Zoroark able to reach a Foul Play, and of course, Foul Play takes out the Gastrodon, and I'm able to take that game. So, GG top on there, into the next battle, we see a Mandibuzz in the lead. So once again, get a safe swap into our Thievul straight away, but they're actually on Snarl. So on Snarl, it's actually not that bad of a matchup for the Hakamoa. Of course, Aerial Ace still going to hit for super effective damage up against us, but Snarl means that actually, I think we even live 2 Aerial Aces, so really not that bad. But either way, the opponent's going to swap out eventually into a Gastrodon. We can go for the Night Slash spam here. Night Slash number 2, going to be no shielded once again, but they overfarm, allow me to reach another Night Slash in time. Night Slash Slash number 3 is going to be shielded, and we do get an attack boost eventually. However, unfortunately at this point, it doesn't really help us, so I'm just going to let the Thievul go down. We can come in with the Hakamoa, and I realize, actually, if they are on Snarl, then Aerial Ace probably going to do less damage than on Earth Power. They ended up baiting with a Body Slam anyway, so didn't really help me out there. But either way, we can fire off the Brick Break. Brick Break going to be no shielded by the opponent. And you can see we will tank this Aerial Ace reasonably comfortably. The opponent fires off the Aerial Ace there. I guess probably a second Aerial Ace would have taken us out from full health anyway, so actually not that good of a matchup, like I've been saying. But either way, Brick Break number 2 gets the Mana Buzz very low. At this point, I'm just going to let the Hakamoa go down. We're going to come in with a Zoroark, and the opponent comes in with their final Pokemon, a Shadow Quagsire. And this is unfortunately where Foul Play, whilst yes, obviously being cheaper in energy is great, but dealing less damage is actually so costly in this matchup, because usually Foul Play dealing 70 damage, I'd have been able to Shadow Claw, farm them all the way down, and come out with very close to back-to-back charge moves to win the matchup up against the Mana Buzz. But unfortunately, on 60 damage, it does not KO that Shadow Quagsire, and they're able to reach another Aqua Tail, taking us out, and unfortunately, we do lose that game. But GG top end there into the next battle, see a Primeape in the lead, and once again, well, actually, I think they did farm up to the close combat this time around, but either way, they don't throw it, they bait with a Rage Fist. We go for the Brick Break there, debuffing their defense, and at this point, I'm going to shield the next charge move. I should be able to go for a full Dragon Tail farm down, so the opponent swaps into a Gastrodon. So we are going to over farm here, fire off a Brick Break just before they farm me all the way down, and we're actually able to grab a shield, which is quite interesting, actually. I'm not really sure why they shielded there, but either way, we can come in with the Thievul, and we are going to no-shield the first charge move. The opponent does full send the Earth Power there, which is okay with me. I'm going to commit to the Play Rough. They have been debuffed in their defense. This still won't quite be enough damage to get the KO, but it puts them into one Shadow Claw farm down range, which might be actually slightly better for us. So what we're going to do, come in with the Zoroark, go for that farm down straight away, and let's see, the opponent's going to come in with a Morpeko. So all I've got to do here is make sure the opponent does not catch a Flamethrower onto their Primeape, and I should be absolutely fine. So I'm just going to continue to overfarm here. The opponent eventually swaps out into Primeape, trying to make that catch. We've now got 100 energy, so Flamethrower, of course, going to be coming through. It easily takes out the Morpeko, and I'm able to take that game. So, GG top on there, into the next battle, see Hakamoa into Azumarill. So, of course, this is really bad for the entire team. We're going to be safe swapping into our Thievul, and Thievul can at least hit for Play Rough here. Play Rough really not going to do much damage, but it's the only neutral charge move across the entire team since I'm not running Sludge Bomb on my Zoroark. Unfortunately, I'm kind of forced to shield here as the opponent goes for a Play Rough before swapping into Morpeko. Now, I'm not going to reach another Play Rough, so I'm actually going to go and bait with a Night Sash, and Morpeko shields anyways, which is great for me. And if I shielded here, I could get off another Play Rough, but I'm just going to let the move go through. Aura Will is going to boost up their attack, and even though we do resist the typical charge boost here, the Aura Will is still going to do a lot of damage at this point, and it does do huge damage, but that's okay. We're going to go for the Dragon Claw straight away, and of course, Dragon Claw, not going to hit that hard, but it does get the KO from that range. We're going to swap straight away. The opponent actually comes in with a Sableye, which is kind of interesting. I expected the Azumarill to come back in. We go straight for Foul Play. Foul Play, again, not really doing that much damage in this matchup. I'm forced to shield. The opponent does full send the Dazzling Gleam before swapping into the Azumarill, and unfortunately, it's going to be game over at this point. There's nothing we can do. Go for the Foul Play. We do grab the shield there, of course. We could be running Sludge Bomb, and I would be running it if I had it, but either way, we're going to go for the Foul Play. Foul Play, I'm going to try to swap out there, but I waited too long, and unfortunately, of course, the opponent is going to go for an Ice Beam, which means they will reach another Ice Beam just before we reach a Dragon Claw here. And from this range, Ice Beam will certainly be enough damage to take out the Hakamoa, and unfortunately, we do lose that game. But GG top over there, into the next battle, we see a Toxapex in the lead. So we're going to stay in this matchup once again and assume they're just going to go straight for a Sludge Wave. So I'm going to go straight for a Dragon Claw here. Dragon Claw, really not going to do too much damage, but the Dragon Tails are chunking. We're going to show the first move here, and the opponent does go and full send Sludge Wave before swapping into Mana Buzz. So once again, I'm going to stay in here, fire off that Brick Break, debuff their defense, and this time because we got off an extra couple of Dragon Tails, this should be a much more comfortable range for me to go for the Play Rough and then Snarl farm them down. So we're going to overfarm here. We're going to throw on the CMP type with the next Aerial Ace. We should still live the Aerial Ace anyways, but Play Rough does huge damage, and I think that does this time put them into Snarl farm down range. Aerial Aerial Ace doesn't do too much damage there, and we do come out with back-to-back Night Slashes. They come back in with the Toxapex. Poison Jab doesn't do enough damage to get the KO, so I can fire them off back-to-back. First one doesn't do much damage there, but the second Night Slash gets them deep into the red health range. I'm hoping we can farm them down, and we're able to get the snipe there with the Shadow Claw damage from the Zoroark. I farm up 2 back-to-back foul plays, and now all I've got to do here is bank a charge move, swap into my Hakamoto here. We've still got a shield, so I'm definitely just going to shield up the Leaf Blade. I'm going to go for a Brick Break, debuff their defense, just guarantee that a foul play, when I do come back in with my Zoroark, will be enough damage to get the KO. Honestly, I didn't need to get that debuff there, and if I went for Dragon Claw, maybe we could have reached back-to-back, but either way, we've got the foul play loaded, and of course, foul play from this range takes out the Shift Tree, and I'm able to take that game. So, GG's up on there. Into the next battle, we see a Jellicent in the lead. So this is okay with me and actually pretty good for the entire team. Of course, the previous one we saw was running Ice Beam, so I'm going to swap out anyways, just to be sure. Try and make the catch there, and the opponent is going to go for a Bubble Beam bait, which is very unfortunate, but we can go for a Night Slash straight away. Night Slash now not going to do that much damage. The opponent can tank that very comfortably before swapping into a Dugong. Now, I should still live an Icy Wind, otherwise maybe I would have gone for a Play Rough there, but Night Slash really doesn't do much damage now that we're debuffed, and now they're going to debuff me once again with that Icy Wind, so I'm actually just going to swap out of that matchup there, clear the debuff, go straight for a Brick Break. Brick Break doesn't do much damage, and unfortunately, they can just barely outpace me to the next charge move. So at this point, we're going to shield this up as they go for an Icy Wind, they swap back into the Jellicent, and again, we're debuffed, so Dragon Claw I don't think will be enough damage to get the KO, and it just barely doesn't there, which is really frustrating. The opponent again going for another debuff. I think they're on like a mission to just continuously spam debuffs here, but they come in with their final Pokemon, a Whiscash. So knowing how this battle's going so far, I wouldn't be surprised if they get like back-to-back Skull debuffs, but either way, we're going to go for a Night Slash. Night Slash is going to grab the shield, and we actually get the attack boost. The opponent then swaps, make a very nice catch, catching the Night Slash onto Dugong, which is fine with me. I still needed to get rid of that Dugong anyways, so we're going to let the Thievul go down. The opponent goes for a Mud Bomb there, getting the KO, and now I think I should still live a Scald, so I'm going to no-shield the first charge move here, and the opponent is going to go and full send a Blizzard. What the heck was that? After all the debuffs with like Icy Winds and Bubble Beams, they full send a Blizzard, and unfortunately there's nothing I can do at this point, so fair enough. GG's, that was a really weird game. But into the next battle, we're going to see a Gastrodon in the lead once again, so we're just going to stay in this matchup. If they farm up to an Earth Power, I might consider shielding, but this is just a Body Slam, so I'm going to no-shield this. The opponent is going to stay in this matchup here. I'm going to farm up very close to back-to-back charge moves here, make sure they don't make any catches. Dragon Claw actually grabs a shield from the opponent, and looking at my health range, I should live another Body Slam here, so I know shield, I'm able to tank that, and we can fire off a Dragon Claw straight away. Dragon Claw gets them deep into the red health range. Unfortunately, not quite in range for me to farm them down with either Pokemon before they reach a Body Slam, so we come in with the Thievul, and we're going to go straight for a Night Slash here. Now, Night Slash is going to get the KO there, and the opponent is going to wait out their Switch Call, come in with a Mana Buzz, and this is absolutely fine with me. We're going straight for Play Rough here. I'm going to outpace them to that first charge move. Play Rough is going to be no-shielded. It does just over half their HP. At this point, I can still live an Aerial Ace pretty comfortably, so I'm going to no-shield this, and I will reach another Play Rough here, so I'm just going straight for Play Rough. If they shield this, I'm going to swap into my Zoroark, just because I'm expecting I will put them into Flamethrower range eventually, and I don't want them to farm me down. So we're going to shield this up as the opponent does fire off the Aerial Ace. They then come in with a Wall Rain, and we're going for a foul play straight away. Now we're going to need 2 charge moves to KO the Wall Rain this time around, as last time I did debuff their defense first. So I'm going to shield this up, and then I'm going to overfarm as much as possible, fire off the foul play on the CMP as I reach back-to-back foul plays, and of course from this range, foul play takes out the Wall Rain, and now I can go for the Flamethrower up against the Mandibuzz coming back in, and of course Flamethrower is enough damage to take out that Mandibuzz, and I'm able to take that game. So, GG's up on there. Into the next battle, we're going to see a Toxapex in the lead. So, once again, just going to play this out exactly the same here. I'm going to shield the first charge move that they throw, assuming they do farm up to 10. And pretty much every single time they farmed up and threw exactly after 10 poison jabs. So, it made it very easy for me to just safely shield this up here. And the opponent is going to full send the Sludge Wave once again, which is fine with me. And again, I'm going to go for 3 Dragon Tails, fire off the Dragon Claw here. Dragon Claw is going to be no-shielded by the opponent. And then I'm going to fire off another Dragon Claw just just before they reach the next Sludge Wave. So Dragon Claw, number 3, does get the KO there. They come in with the Gastrodon, and we are going to go for the Dragon Claw straight away, and the opponent actually throws a Body Slam here. So kind of interesting on the opponent's end there. I guess maybe they thought they'd win CMP, but that's not the case. So Body Slam, they undercharge that. We're going to come in with the Thievul, and the opponent comes in with Morpeko now. Morpeko typically going to shield the first charge move regardless of what you throw. So I do bait there with the Night Slash, and now I'm going to shield up the charge move. The opponent is going to go for the Aura Wheel, boosting up their attack, but now I can go and full send a Play Rough. I can outpace them to the next charge move. Play Rough goes unshielded. It gets the one shot up against the Morpeko. I'm able to outpace them to a Night Slash as well up against this Gastrodon. The opponent at this point has just clearly given up. Nope, never mind. They're going to fire for charge move at the last second. I mean, at this HP, what can you do? We're going to come in with the Zoroark, go for that Shadow Claw snipe, take out the Gastrodon, and I'm able to take that game. So GG top in there into next battle, and we do see a Charm user in the lead here. So unfortunately, of course, gonna have to swap out as Hakamoa is double weak to Charm, whilst my backline is just single weak to it. We are going to reach back-to-back Night Slashes, which is quite nice for us, of course, as this is going to be either carrying both shields or getting some guaranteed damage. Honestly, I would have preferred if I grabbed a shield there, just because Zoroark is definitely going to hit a lot harder with the Foul Play, but they swap into Annihilate. We're going straight for Foul Play here. Foul Play is going to be shielded by the Annihilate, so now we're going to come in with the Hakamoa, and maybe I should have stayed in for slightly longer there, get off a few more Shadow Claws worth of damage, but either way, we're going to shield the first charge move. I'm then going to go and fire off a Dragon Claw. Maybe what I should have done is actually overfarm just slightly more than that. But either way, they come back in with the Brion, and they don't throw a charge move. Very smart play there, realizing that if they throw a move, they actually miss out on throwing a charm, and that is going to be very beneficial for them, as they can come in, get the farm down with the Quagsire, farm down my Zoroark as well, and unfortunately, we do lose that game. So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to take your support even further, you can now become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has already become a channel member. Your support is greatly appreciated. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.